G'day, how's it going? Well, okay, at about 6 o'clock it was about 25 degrees Celsius. It's getting to be hot. It's still a bit hazy, we get funny yellow sun. That's because there's a lot of particulates in the air from smoke, which is yes, there is still bushfires going. And everything's just a bit hazy because it's a bit of a dust bowl because there's a drought going on. So, on Poly and Kinky. Now, when you're kinky or you're into DS, you don't have to be poly. These days, there's more people that are poly, that are kinky, or into BDSM and DS and all that. Now, you can differentiate, like for me, you can differentiate between being in a polyamorous relationship and being in a DS relationship. Doesn't mean you can't have both together. It just means that there's a time and a place for the, dominance and submission. G'day, Paul. Thanks. And there's a time and a place to talk to each other or interact as poly people. Now, there's a few people that will pull the DS aspect in order to enforce a polyamorous relationship or to have the last say in a polyamorous relationship. I'm not all about that. There are some things that have its place in a DS perspective and some things have its place in a poly perspective. And I say, well, when push comes to shove, the really serious talks about your relationships and all that, I would sit there and talk to all my partners as equals, because that's what we are in a poly relationship. And if it had something strictly to do with DS or play, or if it helps people, I will go, okay, we'll enforce the whole DS thing going on. But it doesn't have to be. DS is really hierarchical in a way, and poly, some have hierarchies. I don't have hierarchies, but yeah, some people tend to just sort of slide into sort of place, and yeah, I don't know. For me, the real lifestyle thing is that, there is a time and a place for the dominance and submission, and there is a time and a place for the poly angle. Now, you can say, look, I'm the head of the household, which is something, again, can be a DS perspective, as in being head of the household in a DS perspective, or head of the household in a more familiar, economical sort of sense. And for a lifestyle, they kind of meld together. But in an ideal household, even in a DS perspective, everybody contributes to some level, in which case everyone still has a say. In which case, even in a DS perspective, you can still talk to each other as equal contributors, just in different angles. I keep talking about things like, the captain of the ship, how a ship works and all that sort of stuff, how you have someone who has to be a leader, but you also have your lookouts and people that can take over or temporarily or take over other duties permanently, but then they give up other duties, So I reckon that, yes, you can have DS and poly together. They don't have to be together. Sometimes they're not suited for other people together. And it depends entirely on your personality, how you view DS and how you view poly, what you see your poly or your DS to be like, whether they can be merged together, whether the people you talk with, there's enough of an overlap in their perspective to actually make it work. And it's not all about, I'm laying down the law and this is how it is because, dom. It's also negotiation. Again, communication and negotiation. Oh my God, is that ever topics that always keep getting hammered on? But it's important, because even no matter how long you've been with somebody, no matter how short you've been with somebody, no matter how much you click, there will eventually come a time when, you're going to have to talk about those difficult topics, whatever they are. And it doesn't have to be the whole money and relationship thing. It can just be something that you just don't like talking about. And that's just up to you. So, how do you view your idea of dominance and submission? How do you view your idea of poly? Have you sort of laid it out? Like, for some people it's helpful to write it down. For some people it's just something they talk about. You know, is there enough of an overlap for other people to be in on that? And if not, you know, why? Is there some things that you can negotiate on, some things that you want to consider, some things that might actually work better from somebody else's point of view, and you can adopt that, and that's pretty cool. That's what life's all about evolving. So, poly and DS, or poly and kinky in general. And in my view, poly is not an excuse or not the latest term for, you know, I'm poly, therefore I can screw around and just have sex with people. To me, poly is more have relationships with separate relationships and relationships together with my partners, and they have relationships with each other. It doesn't have to be sex, but they have good relationships. They talk to each other. They can go out without me. I don't have to know everything, and that can get some getting used to, because, you know, today's society we're raised to, you know, be in each other's pockets all the time, know about everything, but, you know, you can suffer from TMI. So, anywho, I'll catch you guys later. And this is a really yellow sun. I don't know if you can really see it, but it is quite yellow, quite eerie. Anyways, and also big thank you to the firefighters out there, volunteer and paid for. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys stay healthy and safe, and I hope a lot of rain comes down. No lightning though, just a lot of rain. Okay, catch you guys. Bye.